everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into something that is just absolutely essential in the world we live in, mental toughness. We're going to break down what it is, maybe more importantly, what it isn't, and of course, how you can start building it step by step.
I mean, you know that feeling, right? Whether it's crazy pressure at work, a personal setback that just knocks you off your feet, or just the day-to-day grind. Life really knows how to test us. Feeling swamped? Yeah, that's a universal human experience, for sure.
But here is the really good news. The ability to handle all that pressure, it's not some magic gene you're either born with or you're not. Not even close. What the research shows us is that mental toughness is a skill. And just like any other skill, you can learn it, you can practice it, and you can get stronger at it. Okay, so let's use a really simple analogy here, because it's a great one. Think of mental toughness just like a muscle. You know, the first time you go to the gym and try to lift something heavy, it feels impossible, right? But you keep training, you stay consistent, and you get stronger. Well, your mind works the exact same way. So let's get on the same page. Before we can start training this muscle, we have to know what it is we're actually building. And just as importantly, we need to clear away some of the myths that are floating around out there. At its absolute core, this is what we're talking about. It's that ability to just keep going when things get tough, to bounce back after you get knocked down, and to keep your eyes on the goal when, everything is screaming for your attention. And I love this framework, the 4 C's, because it takes this big, fuzzy idea and turns it into something really concrete. You can almost use it like a personal checklist. You can ask yourself, okay, where am I struggling right now? Is it my confidence, my sense of control, my commitment to finishing what I start? Or is it how I'm viewing this challenge? It gives you a specific target to work on. And this right here is so important. Mental toughness is not about being a robot. It's not about being emotionless or just burying your pain and pretending it doesn't exist. Real strength comes from being aware of your emotions and, knowing when to ask for help. It's about being resilient, not about being invincible. All right, now for the fun part, the how-to. We've defined it, we've busted the myths. So how do we actually build it? Let's open up the toolkit and look at 3 key areas we can start training right now. And we have to start with the command center, right? Your mind. So much of our strength or our struggle begins with the stories we tell ourselves and the thoughts we allow to take over. Okay, I want you to really let this one sink in. This phrase, it is a total game changer. Our brains are basically thought-generating machines. They never stop. But just because a thought pops into your head, like, I can't do this or I'm going to fail, that doesn't make it true. It's just a thought. It's a bit of mental weather passing through. So how do you actually do that? How do you stop treating every thought like a fact? Well, you can run this simple 4-step play in your head. First, you just have to notice the thought. Identify it. Then, challenge it. Ask yourself, hey, is that 100% true or is it just a feeling? And then you actively reframe it. So instead of, this is impossible, maybe try, this is really tough, but I can figure out the next small step. Really, what we're talking about here is building a growth mindset. It's the core belief that your talents aren't set in stone. It's the difference between saying, I'm bad at this, and saying, I'm not good at this yet. It sees failures not as a final judgment, but as valuable feedback on the path to getting better. But here's the thing. All this mental work doesn't just happen in your head. It's built on a physical foundation. And that brings us to the second part of our toolkit, which might be a little surprising. You gotta train your body. Your mind and your body are not separate things. They're deeply connected. I love this visual because it just captures the idea so perfectly. When you build up your physical resilience through good sleep, exercise, even managing stress, you're laying down these solid stepping stones. And those stones are what your mental strength is built upon. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, you have the non-negotiables. Move your body, get enough sleep, drink water. But here's a really fascinating one from the research. Try a cold shower. Just a quick blast of cold at the end. It's a safe, controlled way to teach your nervous system how to handle stress, which in turn makes you mentally tougher. Kind of cool, right?
Okay, so we've covered the mind and the body. The final piece of the puzzle is training your actions. This is where we take all that good mindset work and physical well-being and turn it into real, consistent, daily habits. This is really where the rubber meets the road. Mentally tough people don't just think differently, they act differently. They set clear goals, sure, but the key is they break them down into tiny, manageable steps so they're not so overwhelming. They fiercely protect their focus by eliminating distractions. And they don't wait to feel confident. They build confidence by purposely stepping out of their comfort zone. And the glue that holds all this together? Self-discipline. Building routines that make toughness your default setting.
So, we've looked at our mind, our body, and our actions. How do we make all of this actually stick? Well, it's really important to remember this is not a quick fix or a one-time project. The real secret here, it isn't about some huge, heroic act of willpower. It's all about the small choices you make every single day. The choice to reframe that one negative thought. The choice to go for a 10-minute walk instead of scrolling on your phone. The choice to do that one small thing you've been putting off. It's the consistency that builds the muscle. Because let's be honest, life's challenges aren't going to just stop. But your ability to meet them, that can totally change. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Looking at everything we just covered, what is one small, simple habit you can start today to begin building your mental muscle? That's all for this explainer. Thanks for joining me.